Well, I can tell you that it is truly the very best find of the day, and this is the first knife today's special value set we've had on QVC since 2011, and the very first one from our friends at Mad Hungry. Now, many of you will know and love Mad Hungry because you know that they are the same brand that bring us the Spurtle, and we have a brand new Spurtle coming up a little later in the show from Mad Hungry. But these knives are extraordinary. They have something called air blade technology, which is going to allow you to cut more easily through the food, creating less resistance and less sticking when you're using these, because these little squares you see in the blade are actually open spaces in the blade. They allow air to pass through so the knife glides more effortlessly through what you're cutting, because you want to be working smarter, not harder. It's not a sharp knife that'll cut you. Traditionally, it's usually a dull knife because you're working harder. These are super sharp knives, and we're going to include the 4 workhorses in your kitchen. This is the 7-inch Santoku. This is the one that you're going to use for all your chopping. This is the one I was using earlier to chop up my grilled salad, which is really a grilled chopped salad. Then I've got a 7 1/4-inch slicer. This is a carving knife. This is one you'll use for that great prime rib in the smoker. Then a 6 1/4-inch serrated bread knife. This bread knife is our utility knife. It's going to be for anything that you really need to get through a tough exterior like a baguette. Then we finally got the 5 3/4-inch serrated utility knife. This, again, is the workhorse blade. It gets through things like a tough tomato skin, but won't tear the tender flesh inside. Yes, these are full Tang knives, meaning the blade goes all the way through the handle. Yes, they're triple riveted. They've got these beautiful ergonomic resin handles, and I can tell you for the day, we have taken orders for 54,000 of these knife sets, and in the kitchen with David tonight, already 1,700 are gone. Here are the color choices. Red, I don't have to tell you, is already incredibly popular. Our foodies were waiting on the red, and they're buying that setup in multiples because this makes a great gift. Here it is in black. I also have it in white. This is blue. Now, if that's looking black on your screen, it's a deep midnight blue. But I can tell you the green just sold out. So the green is gone. All right, there we go, Mr. Mitch. Thank you, one of our prep chefs. So we'll let you know that every knife comes with its protective cover. This protective cover does 2 things. It protects you from a sharp blade and protects your blades from other things in the drawer that it could bang into. Because when you bang other things into the knife, it dulls the knife more quickly. So don't lose these little covers because they're very valuable to you for the lifespan of the knife. And we do it all for a 1-day and 1-day only price. We started this day with 2 more colors than we have out here. And those 2 colors are already gone, the teal and the green. Now, if you want the blue, I've started with over 12,000. I have 4,500 left in that blue, and that is now my most limited. Is that right, Sean? And a few more to go around in the white, red, and black, but time, sadly, is not on your side. This is our final presentation, and at end of day today, this price is gone for good. When you see this knife set back on QVC, it'll come back at nearly $25. Why not save the $5 and get it tonight at this great price? I can also tell you a comparable retail value on this same type of knife set, nearly $100. This is huge. This is Mad Hungry, and this, walk with me over here, is Lucinda Scala Quinn. Hello, my gorgeous.
Hi, darling.
Mwah.
Thank
you
you
know and love Lucinda from television, her show Mad Hungry. She has authored 2 books. It is 2, isn't it?
5.
I beg your pardon, 5. 2 that I have had the honor of presented on QVC. She is also a busy wife and mother. You have how many boys?
I have 3 boys.
3 boys, all Mad
Yes.
Hungry.
Oh, that's how the name came about.
And in addition to her work with great products, she currently works in the Martha Stewart Test Kitchen.
Yes.
So she is a busy, busy lady. She is all things food, all things kitchen, all things that make life easier. You designed these knives yourself.
I did. I like to make sure I took all of the professional ethos from the professional kitchen and brought us to us home cooks, where we're not breaking down a side of beef. We're doing breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We're making salads.
Bless your heart, that's true.
Right? We're making salads. And also, I love to cook, but not everybody does. So I try to make prep fun. Try to do something that makes it a little bit easier in the kitchen.
Well, tell us about air blade technology, because in addition to all of the other features we've already talked about, the ergonomic handle, the full Tang steel, the air blade is really what makes this knife unique.
Yeah, so what happens here is when you take half the knife out, less is more. The air gets through and you cut down the friction and makes it easier to slice. And it doesn't take as much pressure to slice through, which is great for the home cook. Also, the food doesn't stick. How many times have you sliced cheese and you have to stop every time because the cheese is stuck on your knife?
Check this out. I've got this great big block of cheese, and every time I slice down through the block, look what's not happening. Because what we've done is we've released that suction.
Exactly.
We've released all of that, what a solid knife would do, so now it glides and cuts beautifully. So nothing can stick to this blade because it allows air to pass through, and then everything just falls away from the blade. Now, of course, what we have to do is shred this up for mac and cheese.
Yes.
Now, what you're going to love about this knife set is that all 4 of these knives you've chosen for us are the workhorse knives that every home cook needs in their kitchen. Because I'll tell you, a knife should be an extension of your hand. And it should fit your hand naturally, which is why you made the handles ergonomic.
I did. And let me tell you something. Everybody holds their knife just a little bit differently. So I wanted to make sure that aside from having the full steel from one end to the other, that's called full tang, and then you've got triple rivets, 1, 2, 3 that hold that steel, and then the resin handle, which, David, I worked so hard on this because not everybody holds their knife the same, but I wanted to make sure that everybody was comfortable. And I don't like it when a knife tapers too narrow because then you can't hang on. So I like it with my little pinky hooked here if I'm going to do it like this, and then sometimes I go up like this and it feels great too.
Well, that's how I hold the knife, because I grasp it with my thumb and my index finger and then wrap my remaining 3 grab it with the thumb and the index finger and wrap my remaining 3 fingers around the blade. It fits beautifully. Now when I'm rocking the knife and chopping, my hand and the knife move in one fluid motion.
Exactly.
This is why you feel control with this knife. This is why you know that you've got a knife you can trust and that will get the job done. But Lucinda, let's talk plainly.
Yes. Shall I show you each knife we have here?
Let's do that, but I also want to say this. Our foodies at home are looking at this knife set. And they're saying, all right, David, Lucinda, we like you guys, but come on. There are 4 knives in this set. They're full tang, which means the blade goes all the way through the handle and is riveted on. We're getting 4 knives, all stainless steel, sharp as razors, and how can it be less than $20? Let's talk about the quality of what we put together and QVC's buying power, because remember, when QVC brings in tens of thousands of these for the day, we're gonna get a better price from the jump.
Absolutely.
But you also would never put your brand name on something that wasn't the finest quality. Talk to us about that.
Well, David, we've known each other now for a couple of years, and anybody who knows me know that I walk it the way I talk it. I take it home, I use it. If something doesn't work, I start over. This knife represents really me being able to do away with my fancy Japanese and French, German knives, because I found something that has the most premium quality. 4 elements you need for quality. Stainless steel, right? The air blade technology where less is more. And the balance on the knife, because you have the triple rivet, 1, 2, 3, and this is the chopping knife that I'm working. This is your utility Santoku.
It's your everyday knife.
Yes, and why I need this Santoku is if you see how tall, I've got 3 different pieces of celery here stacked on top of each other. So I want that much width or depth in my knife in order to make this a really easy job. So that's my Santoku.
You know what? You don't have to pay thousands of dollars for a great knife. What you need is QVC's buying power, Lucinda's know-how, and quality ingredients to make a knife perfect. I want to point out one thing to you before I go through all of what you're going to get again, because here's something that you never ever see in a knife set of this price point. Now follow the blade here and then follow my finger. I'm on the top side of the knife, not the sharp side, okay? Look at this. All the way, look, the steel goes all the way through the handle. This is called a full tang knife. I'll turn it around, you can see it. The blade goes all the way through it. That's one continuous piece of stainless steel. That means that this is all one piece of steel. Most knives at this price point would take a resin handle and the blade would stop about here. And they would glue it onto the end, Lucinda.
And show how it doesn't bend.
Yeah,
that's what's amazing.
This doesn't bend. It's all one continuous piece of steel. A lesser knife would stop right about there with the blade and all this would be empty and they'd glue it on the handle. This is all one continuous piece of steel, triple riveted, ergonomically designed, air blade technology, so you don't have the sticking and the suction when you're cutting through things, particularly that can be thick like cheese or moist like vegetables or fruit. This is what it's all about. Let me show you what you're getting again. Each knife with its protective cover. This is an extraordinary value, and we are wild, wackadoo, crazy busy. $58,000 for the day, $6,000 in the show, and I have 1,100 people on the phone lines. I'm going to start with the Santoku. This is the one that Lucinda's been using most during the presentation because this is your chopping blade. This is the one you're going to pick up for most jobs in the kitchen. This is your Santoku. You're going to rock with this knife. You're going to be fine with it. Then you've got your slicer knife or a carving knife. This is one that is going to be beautiful if you're prepping meat, for example, for the grill, trimming some fat off those steaks and wanting to get them all ready to go. Then we've got a serrated bread knife. This one is a utility knife. It can go through anything with a tough exterior, like a really crunchy baguette, but you don't want to rip or tear the delicate bread inside. Then finally, we're going to give you that serrated utility knife. And this is the one you'll reach for probably for most of your summer fruits and vegetables because you're either peeling or you're slicing. Go through a tomato, it's going to cut through that tough outer skin. When the good Lord made a tomato, he knew exactly what he was doing.
Yes,
he put a
did.
protective outer skin on it to protect that delicate flesh on the inside. This knife will go through that tough skin without tearing up that delicate fruit inside. So this is what's so special. Here are the color choices I have for you. And there are only 4 remaining. We started the day with 6. 2 of the 6 colors have already sold out and there's no advanced order. What we brought in for the day is all we have for the day. Here it is in red, our most popular in this hour, and that's no surprise because our foodies love red. Then we've got it in black. Then I have the set in white if you like it. But if you want this blue, a deep, rich blue, I'm going to step out of the way so you can see just how blue it is. There we are. And you can see the difference between the blue and the black. Now, we started with 12,000 blue. I have 3,500 left in the blue. Going very quickly, everyone grabbing this price. And I'll remind you, final presentation of this knife set, you only have until end of day today, and that's only while your color choice remains. Now, we've offered other Mad Hungry knife sets on QVC, and I'd love for you to hear what other customers are saying about this. These are customers that have purchased previous Mad Hungry knives, and they say things like this. These knives slice right through all kinds of vegetables, meats, and make slicing soft cheese so much easier. Chopping and prepping food is a pleasure. They're not heavy, and they have a great grip. It would be great if Mad Hungry made an air blade paring knife to go with this set. Wow, maybe that'll be next. These are my favorite knives, another customer writes, in my kitchen, and I have had plenty. They slice right through anything you need and are the ones I always reach for. They are sturdy and sharp, well-made, great value. And then finally, one other customer says, sharp, light when using, and probably the best knife I have ever used. Recommend to everyone, love this product. You know what? You can go and pay more money for a knife, but you don't need to. When QVC has the buying power to bring in a set like this, a phenomenal set like this, in the quantities that we're able to do, we're going to be able to drive that price way, way down. And when we do that, we pair it with our absolute insistence on quality.
It is just #1 for me. And David, I've moved on from chopping to slicing because I want you to see how amazing this slicer is. You saw it outside with Mac when he was cutting the meat. But look at this. This is soft feta cheese that usually gets stuck. It's shaving right off.
And I love that. It's shaving that feta cheese. What do we know about feta cheese? It crumbles. And when you go to try to slice it, if you didn't have a knife that was sharp enough, it would begin to crumble as you slice it.
Exactly, and here I am just easily slicing. And I have to say to folks who are a little shy in the kitchen, you don't have to put hardly any pressure on this. It is so beautifully balanced, and you can just go straight through because pulling out part of that knife right there actually ends up making it lighter and able to just glide right through. What are you looking for?
Well, you know what?
There
I'm
you
going to
go.
look for my Santoku.
Here's one for you.
You have one? Thank you,
yes.
love. Appreciate that.
Because, of course, how many times do we cut onions every day?
Well, and you know what? So many recipes call for them. My recipe for grilled chopped salad tonight has the onions in there, so you'll definitely want to do this. And we'll give it a little cut this way so I can show you a quick.
Wow, fancy.
Well, it's not so fancy as much as it is just really quick. Look at this.
And it's the right way to do it.
Look at this. I can go right through that. This is such a sharp knife. And do you notice that moist onion is not sticking to the blade because those air holes, I'm going to call them, allow you to enjoy that wonderful air blade technology so the knife glides right through. So many people are ordering this blue, and if you want it, start of the day with 12,000. I have 2,800 left in the blue choice. It will be the next to sell out.
That's
and
my
I'll tell you,
favorite.
we have 15 more minutes in this, our final presentation. We have phone calls stacked up, ready for our folks to say hello, and 62,000 knife sets ordered for the day. 10,000 just in this hour.
Oh my goodness,
and
I'm so happy about that.
1,800 people, Miss Lucinda, just jumped on the phone lines. Can we talk about peeling melon?
Okay, so I showed you my chopper and I showed you my slicer, and this is our utility bread knife. Now everyone knows you can cut bread with this, but this summer I'm going to be having a lot of melon, so I like to take the ends off the melon and then use this to get through that really tough skin, and there you go. I'll move on to that after. And you basically make this job for anybody so easy, and once you've got that cut, you just cut right down here.
Oh my gosh, it glides through.
It glides right through there.
Can we show something that will be the true test of this knife?
I will do anything you want me to
Take
show
a
you.
look right here, my friends. This is a fresh pineapple. How do you know your pineapples are ripe? Little tip. Pull inside here, and if the green piece pulls out easily like that, your pineapple is ripe. Buy that one, okay?
Exactly.
Don't worry about if it's soft or if it smells. Pull the little green stem. If it pops right out that easily, this is a ripe pineapple and ready to roll.
Okay.
But this is also one of the hardest things to cut.
And also like butternut squash. So basically you get a good grip and you just go right down, you're sawing it right off. Boom. And then turn it over. You don't have to buy your pineapple already pre-done. You can just get in here with this. It's like you've got a buzzsaw, for goodness sakes. Oh, you know what I do, by the way? I don't throw out those peels. I put hot water and ginger on them and make pineapple aid. Little trick.
Do you? Look at you, fancy. All right, so this is what it's all about. And you know what? Farmers markets are opening up all around the country. It is such an exciting weekend coming up on Memorial Day weekend. Folks are realizing that the bounty of summer is just around the corner.
Exactly. Look at this. It's
You
as
need
easy as
these
could be.
knives to help get you to the finish line with all that great food prep. We continue to be very, very busy on the phone lines, and everybody loving this knife set. Remember, you're going to get the Santoku, which is probably the one you'll use most in this set because that's your chopping, your chef knife, your chopping blade. Then we've got your carving knife or slicing knife, which is great for meats. Then, of course, we've got your serrated bread knife, also great for those tougher skinned fruits and vegetables like butternut squash or pineapple. And then finally, the serrated utility knife. You're going to see Lucinda cut cherry tomatoes with that knife. You're going to see her cut grapes with that knife, and we've got colors for you. Let me quickly tell you, we started the day with 6 colors, and now there are only 4. I'm going to step out of the way so you can see all those colors very nicely with a open background here, beginning in red. Red is our #1 most popular in this show, and that's never a surprise. Our foodies love red and everything. Then we've got it for you in black, a nice, marvelous, neutral classic. Behind that, or beneath that, is the white, another great classic for you. But if you want this blue, we started the day with 12,000. I have 2,200 left in the blue. I can tell you for the day, 64,000 have been ordered, 12,000 in this show, and everybody realizing now's the time to grab your knife set. Each will come with their protective cover, and you're ready to rock and roll, but only until end of day today. At end of day today, this price doesn't go away for just a little while. It goes away for good. This comparable retail value on these same types of knives would be nearly $100. We've got them tonight at less than 20. Let's say hello to Nancy in Indiana. Nancy, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
You know what? I would say let us peel you a grape, but why don't we cut you a grape? How about
Okay,
that?
I can do that.
That would be nice. What did you think of this knife set, Nance?
Pardon me?
What did you think of the knife set?
I love the knife set. I think it's wonderful. And my sister called me from Massachusetts today to tell me about this knife set.
Oh!
What did
The
she...
one that introduced me to you. I've been watching you now for the last 2 years.
Wonderful. Now, what did she say to you on the phone today about the knives? Why was she so excited about them?
She must have watched it earlier in another presentation.
Yeah.
And she says, you got to see these knives. You're going to love them. She says, they'll be on tonight on Cooking with Dave. I said, I'll be there. And they came on, and I got on the phone.
Which color do we have for you, Nance?
I have the white.
Oh, that's beautiful.
It's going to be perfect.
Summer.
You know, I tell
think
you.
so. I'm really thrilled about it.
And Nancy, this air blade technology, take a look here. I've got this great big block of cheese. Now, ordinarily, with a solid blade knife, you'd get about halfway through that cheese block, and you would probably have to start rocking the knife to get it through there, right? Because it'd be hitting that.
Right, I was watching the demonstration.
Yeah, check this out. I'm going right through this cheese. And not only does it go right through, the cheese falls away because those openings in the blade do not allow suction to form between the knife and the cheese. So therefore, I'm able to slice it easily, and it falls away from the blade. Isn't that something?
Yes.
Look at that.
I'm very pleased about it. I can't wait to get it.
Wonderful. Well, we can't wait to get them out to you, and we will do that straight away. In the meantime, we hope you and your family have a fantastic Memorial Day weekend coming up.
And you also.
Thank you very, very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Nice
Thanks
to
for
chat
calling.
with you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
What you got over here, my love?
All right, so I'm taking our little, this is the fourth knife I'm giving you a little bit of love towards, and that is our micro serrated. That means just that the serration is small enough for me to go in here and look, easily peel off an orange. And you know, sometimes you want to get the skin off so that you can actually go in there and get the sections, especially if you're making a fruit salad like this, like I plan on doing this weekend. So that's another reason why I love to do that. And if you're going to be having a cocktail or two, I'm not sure, maybe just this weekend a little bit, or maybe for your iced tea, you've got this there for your, just going on and making like, just continuing to get through that tough skin to have the garnish for your cocktail. So there's your lime.
Hey, can I tell you, 67,000 ordered for the day, 14,000 during In the Kitchen with David, and we have over 2,000 people on the phone lines. There is not a better time than right now to choose your knife set, because this price is only good until end of day today. When these knives come back, they will be a higher price, nearly $25 at the regular QVC price. What are we doing for you today? We're bringing these to you at $19.98. We started the day with 6 colors, I should say, and we now have only 4. I have the red that you're looking at, and that's been most popular in this hour. I also have it for you in the black. Here it is in the white, but if you want the blue set, we started with 12,000. 1,500 are all I have left. And let's remind you what customers are saying about Mad Hungry Air Blade knives. These are previous air blade knives that we've done on QVC. One customer says, these knives slice right through all kinds of vegetables, meats, and make slicing soft cheese so much easier. Chopping and prepping food is a pleasure. When was the last time you said that, right? Now, they're not heavy. They have a great grip. It would be great, this customer writes, if Mad Hungry would make an air blade paring knife to go with the set. I guess that'll be the next thing on the drawing board. Then another customer writes, these are my favorite knives in my kitchen, and I have had plenty. Boy, I know what this person feels like. They slice right through anything you need and are the ones I always reach for. They are sturdy and sharp, well made, and this customer finishes with great value. And then finally, another customer writes, sharp, light when using, probably the best knife I've ever used. Recommend to everyone, love the product. Let me show you again what you're getting. Because Lucinda, you call these the most used knives in the kitchen.
For every job you have.
So let me start with the first one, and I want you to hit me with just the kinds of things I'll use the knife for. Santoku chef's knife.
You're doing onions, you're doing green pepper, you're doing carrots, zucchini, you name it.
Anything I need to chop.
Anything you need to chop.
Now, my slicing carving knife, what am I using that
that's
for?
That's a little bit more narrow and very sharp, and you're going in to carve your chicken, you're slicing your meat, you're carving cutting raw protein.
Salmon, which you're about to show us.
Yep.
Now, serrated bread knife, the utility knife.
That's the utility knife, and of course, I love it because you know how to use it with bread, but I use it for pineapple, I use it for melon, I use it for iced stuff. Sometimes, you know, you're cutting blocks of like frozen vegetables or something like that. Cuts right through.
Oh my gosh, how many times do we buy like a brick of spinach or something and we need to, yeah, exactly, perfect. And then finally, the serrated utility knife, what are we using that most for?
Yeah, well, that little baby is great for anything citrus, hard skin, and also juice. When you want to keep juice inside and you don't want to press it down, you're doing a little bit of sawing action with those micro serration, and you're keeping the juiciness intact for fruit.
Can I tell you, we are scaring the heck out of 70,000 sets gone for the day.
Oh my goodness.
And that means in this show alone, 16,000 have been ordered. If you want that blue, I have 1,200 left out of the 12,000 we started the day with. Let me assure you, like the teal and the green, when the blue sells out, I'm going to take it off the set, and then there will be 3. Only 3 colors remaining. Don't forget, these are the knives you've been looking for. I'm going to move this out of the way so our camera can see what you're doing. This is salmon, and look at that carving knife.
I cut right through. Now, this is the carving knife. I love to buy a side of salmon this time of year because, in fact, it's very affordable, but it cuts right through that skin. I just went through with absolutely one stroke. You don't have to fight it, and that's the important thing for experienced cooks as well as new cooks who are maybe a little bit shy in the kitchen, right?
Now check this. Look at this.
There you go. And that can be a sticky situation. Yeah,
and look at this. This air blade technology allows me to go right through. Once I cut it all the way through, it just falls away from the blade. One more slice. Look at this. Pushing down effortlessly, getting a cut all the way through, and look what happens. Boom, falls away from the blade. Air blade allows air to pass through, so you do away with the suction, and things fall away from the blade. We're very, very busy on our phone lines, and let's welcome Patricia in California. Hi, Patricia.
Hi there.
Hi, David. How are you?
We're doing very well. Lucinda, Scala, Quinn, and I would love to know, what was it about today's special value that impressed you?
Well, what I liked about it is I have a similar knife, but very inexpensive, and I use it for cheese, which is great. But I also found that it cuts the tomatoes wonderful. It doesn't squish them, and so I thought, well, my gosh, you've got blades here similar to that, and they look wonderful.
Well, I'm so glad we had these for you. Which color did you choose, Patricia?
I chose white.
Well, it is fantastic, and I'll also remind you and everyone else watching what's great about these blades, and we'll come into the one I'm holding in my hand and show you that this is one continuous piece of steel. So ordinarily, at a knife at this price point, the manufacturer would stop the blade about where my fingers are, and they'd glue the handle to that little stump at the end of the knife, right? Look what's happening here. You can follow the steel all the way through the handle. This is what we call a full Tang knife. So that is one continuous piece of steel that has been triple riveted, and this ergonomic handle was designed to fit your hand beautifully. Depending on how you like to grip the knife, I usually grab it with my thumb and forefinger and wrap my 3 fingers around the handle. Other folks may hold it back this way depending on your comfort level, but I'll tell you, it's a beautifully weighted knife, beautifully designed, and tonight, a beautiful price.
Well, I also like the way the blade is, the handle is away from the blade cutting part.
What
Yes.
a great point. You know, I worked very hard on that because I know that some people are a little shy and they want to get their hands away from that blade, but they want to feel like they have a firm grasp.
You know, they also talk about balance with knives, Patricia, and if this were not a full Tang knife and I was balancing it here on just a couple of fingers, you know what would happen? The heavy end of that knife would tip this way and it would fall out of my hand. Look what's happening here. It's balancing on 2 fingers in my hand. Isn't that amazing?
It's beautiful.
Oh, you've made a very smart purchase tonight, Patricia. I'm so glad you jumped on this when you did.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Well,
Patricia.
enjoy and stay with us. We've got a whole nother hour with you and a one-time only value that is blowing the roof off the place, okay?
Okay, thanks, David.
Thanks, sweetie.
Thank
Nice to chat
you.
with you.
Bye.
Bye-bye now. Very, very excited to tell you that we are now over 70,000 sold for the day. Actually, 70,600. And in this show alone, 18,000 are gone now.
You know, foodies know what's going on.
You know
that,
they do, and you know
they
what?
trust us. They know that we're giving them quality while we're giving them value.
True. And you know what? A lot of our foodies have not been watching all day today. A lot of our foodies have been working. They just got dinner dishes finished up, got kids to bed, and they tuned in the kitchen with David and are excited now to have their chance to order this knife that has been so popular all day. But it has been incredibly popular during our show tonight because we realize time at this point in the evening is actually not on our side. This value will only be good for you during this day and while our supply lasts. At the end of day today, this price will go away for good. It is now 9 p.m. on the East Coast. Some folks may just be tuning in. Let me introduce you to today's special value. This is our Mad Hungry 4-piece air blade knife set. We'll explain air blade technology right after we do the what you get. But I will tell you, in this knife set, you're getting 4 blades with their, 4 knives rather, full Tang knives, continuous piece of steel, triple riveted handles with a protective cover. The first is going to be your chopping or Santoku knife. This is the one you'll probably reach for most often when you're chopping vegetables, fruit, getting things ready for summer recipes. Your slicing carving knife, if you're going to be cutting meats, cheeses, all those kinds of things, use this to carve the Thanksgiving turkey. It'll be beautiful. No problem at all. Then we have the serrated bread knife. This is not only a bread knife, but this will cut through anything with a very tough exterior, like pineapples, like melons. Do you like to cut into your cantaloupe, get a nice big wedge of cantaloupe or a half a cantaloupe for breakfast? This is going to be ideal for that. Then finally, we have for you the serrated utility knife. This is the one you'll use for all of those tough-skinned fruits and vegetables, something that'll glide right through a tomato but never tear the delicate flesh inside. We started the day with 6 colors. Teal and green have both sold out. We now have 4 remaining, and what we brought in for the day is all we have for the day. So like the other 2 colors that have already sold out, when these colors are gone, they're gone for good. Now, at least at today's special value price. We're going to begin with the red. Red has been our most popular color all day and certainly in this show tonight. I have it for you in black. Here it is in the white. But if you want the blue, we started the day with 12,000 blue. You know how many I have left in blue?
How many?
Fewer than 500.
Oh, my goodness. Ooh.
This is almost gone. Please be on the line for this, and I will tell you, super busy. It's been a great day. And for the day now, we've taken orders for Over 73,000 ordered for the day, 20,000 during the show, my darling.
Oh my goodness.
And thank you for a great
You're the
day.
best.
You are marvelous. But if you'll hang around, we've got one more item to share with you.
Spurtle Mania is
New
kicking to a
Spurtles.
next level.
New Spurtles and colors. That's what we're talking about. And talking about color, can we talk a moment about our one-time only value?